Hello, I am Karen Kushner, and I am here today to speak with you about the creative process. And this is the third in this little series I'm doing. And today we are focusing on the body, which all of us probably care the most about. So I'll explain that more in a minute. First, let me do a spiritual mind treatment. So this word is being spoken for each one. And if there is anyone you would like included in this prayer, just think of their name now and know that this word does include them. There is an infinite mind, a divine thinker that is the thinker, the thought, and the law that takes that thought and creates it into form. And so this manifest universe is an expression of what the divine thinker is thinking. And right now it is thinking of each one. And this is why each one is here now, a created expression of what the divine thinker is thinking. The divine thinker only thinks of perfection because it is infinitely intelligent. And so there is nothing in intelligence that would create something that it does not like. So this divine thinker is thinking of each one right here and right now because it loves each one, just the way he or she has been created. And each one has been given an infinite potential and the law of creativity to express this unique expression of the divine that he or she is in any way that he or she chooses. And so that divine thinker is now thinking in, through, and as each one, and is combining with those conscious thoughts each one chooses now to create a world that each one loves completely. I am grateful that this moment now, this talk, is crystal clear to each one. Each one understands it, gets it, and is able to use the creative process to create for themselves a more happy, healthy, joyous, enriched, wealthy life than ever before. I release this word to the law, that law of creation. It is done, and so it is. All right, so I spoke in my last two talks about the divine thinker, and it is expressing at a level, you could call it the absolute, but in us, it's a level of our conscious mind where we are aware of our thoughts. And that conscious mind is that part in us where we can choose. We can choose with the conscious mind. And then the last time I spoke about the subconscious mind, or the soul of this thinker, or its law. That thinker has a law, a process, where its thoughts are converted into form, body, my hair, my glasses, this video right now. And so today we're talking about the body because that's the part that we human beings are most interested in. Because if I bump my shin, my body hurts. And I care about that. It draws all my attention. But what we want to get really clear about is these three aspects of the divine thinker, or the universal mind, or ourselves, are not separated. That's key. The thinker with the thought and the law that creates that thought and the thing are all one and the same. They cannot be separated. As I used to teach in my classes, in order for something to be created, there must be a creator and a law which the creator uses, and the creation. If you take away the creation, there's no creator. because a creator means I am creating something. If you take the way of the law, then the creator could be wanting to create everything, but there's no mechanism for making it happen. And if you take away the creator, you've got a creative law and nothing getting created, because it is the thinker that is thinking the thoughts that the creative law is using to manifest as form. So what we want to start thinking about when we think of our bodies is, it's the visible point of an ongoing creative activity. That when you're looking at me, I want you to think you're not looking at me. Well, this is virtual, so you're not looking at me. When you're looking at this, chances are I'm not even here anymore. Chances are I've gone to get my breakfast. Chances are I'm out somewhere else, but I'm not sitting in this seat when you view this. So what are you looking at? You're looking at, whether it's the real me you're looking at right now or this video of me, you are looking at a thing, a thought thing, a thing that the infinite mind has a thought. Right now, the infinite thinker is thinking Karen. Now, the name Karen and this body is the clothing. You can think of a thing as invisible, and then we get some spray, and when we spray it, we can see what is there. So the body is not the cause of anything being created, and the body is no thing without the thought. I'd like a word to be created, thought thing together, thought thing, so that we realize that if you are seeing anything, piece of paper, my cell phone, if you're seeing anything, you're seeing a thought. You're seeing a thought, not the thing. And the reason why we want to start thinking that way is because when we start seeing the thoughts that are projecting as the thing, or that the thought extending into visibility, you have your perspective of the world right side up. You're seeing causes. And because we care about the thing that has shown up, and we probably would like to change it, instead of monkeying around here trying to change it, we go back to the thought that's projecting it. Like, we can remove a particular thing, and I'm sure we've all done that, but the thought that is projecting the thing is still there. And the creative process that creates thoughts into things is still there. And it's ongoing and it's continuous and it's never, ever going to stop. So removing the thing does not stop the creative process, and it does not stop the thought that is before the thing that's getting projected. So when we want to change the body, the thing, this world of experiences that we are having, we want to realize, I want to change the thought that is getting projected here. And this life is just so wonderful that so many times we're not aware of our thoughts, and until they're projected, and then we see, I didn't mean to think that. What was I thinking? Oh, yeah. I had a friend who I was coaching for many years, and she was practicing observing her thinking and then noticing what got created. And of course, the way you practice is you want to be aware of your thoughts so that when something gets created that you didn't expect, you can have an awareness of what you were thinking. You can retrace your thoughts. So it requires some mental training to be aware of your thoughts, because obviously you can't keep aware of all the thoughts you thought. But the good thing is, when you have a shift in thought that results in creating something getting created that you didn't expect, the thought that shifted to create that new thing, it's not too far away. So she was driving her car to work, and she told me that she had the thought, oh, I'm going to get to work early unless I have an accident. Yep. A car popped her. And it was a little minor thing, but after it all got straightened out, she got to work just on time. She told me as soon as that car bopped her, she remembered that she just had that thought. It was a couple of nanoseconds earlier, but she remembered she had that thought. And the thing about this experience for her was it empowered her. It made her realize that she had the thought. It was a passing fancy, right? We all have those little thoughts. And that she had time from that passing thought to have said, no, I arrive to work early. Or no, I arrive in early, in perfect right order, in harmony. Or no, my transportation is safe, it is easy, it is harmonious, and everything is in operating in perfect right order, divine right action. She got empowered from that. And as a result, she became more and more empowered to select her thoughts and create an absolutely wonderful life for herself, which is what she did, and which I have done, and which you can do too. So, body, according to Dr. Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind textbook, he writes, body means the entire manifestation of spirit on all planes. It's the entire manifestation of spirit, both visible and invisible. That's the body of the universe, the body of the thinker, of God. Now, what is invisible? Well, my emotions. What is invisible? The internet, electricity, my mood, my view of the world. So, and yes, there are certainly, science tells us, there are quantum particles, that this physical universe is so teeny at its most visible or invisible level or whatever, that it cannot be seen. I mean, it was a shock to me when I realized an atom, which I was taught in science is the smallest unit of the universe. Now we know it's not. But no one's ever seen an atom. I'm like, what do you mean no one's ever seen an atom? Then how do we know that an atom exists? Because they do their scientific studies, and they have all of this evidence indicating that that's the way the physical universe operates. And so we go with the scientific supposition of this is the way the universe is made up. And then, as we know, they've gotten deeper and deeper with it. So my mood, my energy, my reactions to things are all invisible, as well as the dust particles and the ethers and gases of the universe, and maybe even those beings who have passed on from this plane, invisible to me, but still a creation of this universe, still existing in some form invisible to me, but expressing, being. So, this means that my ability to consciously choose a new thought will have its impact on all different planes of actions. And so what I have learned and practiced is, if I'm having an emotion that I would like changed, I can begin thinking a new thought, and that thought will affect how my emotions are feeling. Another way to think about the thought, the law, the thing, is in terms of density. Our thoughts are invisible. But when we ponder a particular thought over and over again, it becomes denser in us. So a thought, if I am watching a particular show, I like to watch cooking shows, cooking competition shows, and I don't cook. I'm not interested in cooking myself, but I love watching people who engage in these competitions, especially the ones who design these big, huge structures out of cake and sugar and some sort of pumpkin. That thought that I had when I first watched the show, oh, that's cool, has been continuously catching my interest, so that I watch the shows more and more, I enjoy them more and more, and I'm understanding what they're talking about more and more. So without even tasting what they are talking about, I find that now when I taste something new, I'm able to describe it in terms that I didn't know before. And this is really cool. I discovered that one of you wonderful people that I have met has a sister who has been in these competitions making gingerbread houses. I am so excited that she exists, and she was on television, and I got to watch her and see how she worked, but I knew her sister, so I was more connected. So this thought that began as, oh, I like cooking competitions, has been bringing these cooking competitions closer and closer to me. And this past year, I was able to connect with her on Facebook. We're Facebook friends. I'm so excited. Maybe someday I'll be able to be in the audience, or maybe even on the support team. Not the cooking support team, but maybe the loader, wheeling in the stuff. I don't know. But that's what we want to realize, is that a thought, we have these passing thoughts, like my friend, oh, maybe da-da-da-da, whatever. Passing little thoughts, I'd like to be a millionaire. Passing thoughts, I want to be healthy. But if we were to repeat thinking that thought over and over, the thought moves from being an airy, fairy, very, very light thought. It gets denser in us. And it actually starts needing some space, so that a particular body is a thought that has been thought so clearly, so consistently that, boom, it becomes visible form. And so what we want to realize is that the invisible thoughts that pass us, any one of them could become visible if we choose to repeat that thought often enough. And if we want to change our world by consistently choosing a different thought than that is projected in the world we've got now, we eventually will see that thought that we have entertained getting denser and denser until it becomes what we can feel in us, which we call a belief, right? I'm sure you've all thought, change your thinking, change your life. And we have so many wonderful people out there now talking about changing your beliefs, because they realize it's not just changing your conscious thought, but changing those conscious thoughts so that you're getting at those condensed thoughts that are hardened and calcified, those beliefs, which as they get even harder, they become convictions. That if they get that hard to us, the thought of it not being true is inconceivable to us. And with that level of condensed thoughts, our world is mostly created from, because they're so heavy. You can think of the one thought, oh, I want to be healthy. Maybe you think it once a day. I want to be healthy. I want to be healthy. I want to be healthy. Versus, oh my gosh, the doctor said this. And the measurement says this, and I have to worry about that. You're thinking more of the, oh no, maybe I'm not in good health thoughts, versus the one, I want to be healthy. So the weight of these accumulated thoughts condense into a denser and denser form. Dr. Amit Goswami, I attended a workshop he was given, and he was talking about infinite potential, or in physics, the electron could be anywhere until you try to observe it, and then it collapses into a place to be seen. And likewise, our thoughts are like these electrons that we're thinking and thinking and thinking them, and they get heavier and heavier, and we can imagine, I know I'm going above, but you know, where else am I going? Behind me, these beginning thoughts rushing, condensing, collapsing into, boom, form, and you can see me. That's what we want to realize. So it might, when we're working with the creative process to change what our world is, what we are experiencing in our world and what it's looking like, what our body is looking like, it's not just one airy-fairy thought that we have. We want to realize that if we used our mental thinking power alone, what we can do, which will work eventually, is repeat the thought, repeat the thought, repeat the thought, repeat the thought, until finally it's so dense, boom, it's formed. The cartoonist who has created Dilbert, I know his first name is Scott, he actually wrote a book, and he's talked about that he was a computer programmer, and he began writing, I don't know if it was 100 times a day or 1,000 times a day, I am a nationally syndicated cartoonist. And in 6 or 7 months, he was. If you are changing your identity in some way, right? I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy. Over morning, noon, and night, saying it, you'll notice you start changing. You start thinking the way a wealthy person thinks, which isn't, ooh, I got all this money, let me run out and spend it. It's, I am equal to this money, and I intelligently know how to use it as part of my full package of how I use the good in my world. And so in using the creative process, we want to remember a couple of things. The law of creation is ongoing, like it or not, being aware of it or not. And it's like that law of gravity. It will take whatever thought is given to it and boom, create it. The law of creation does not have the ability to say no to any thought that is being thought. Thought, take it, create it. I've been looking for a pen, finally found it. Law of gravity, I give it a pen, all the way to the ground. So, it's impartial, or neutral. But we have a conscious mind where we can choose. And we can choose what this law is going to collapse, condense, and project and make as form in our world. That's on the mental level, and that's good to know. But there is an easier way for us than writing 1,000 times a day, I am a nationally syndicated cartoonist, or saying 1,000 times a day, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy. We may want to do those things in support of keeping our consciousness, our conscious thoughts clear, but we also have this divine thinker. And I'll be talking more about that aspect of ourselves in future virtual talks. But for now, what I want you to realize is this divine thinker is and has been thinking of us. And the divine thinker doesn't think, uh-oh, maybe this awful thing will happen. The divine thinker is thinking life, love, light, power, peace, harmony, beauty, joy. These are the thoughts, along with the divine mind's perfect diagram of a human form. We are individualizing the divine thinker's thoughts with our thoughts, our ancestors' thoughts, the human race's thoughts. So when we decide to choose a new thought with our conscious mind to have the law created into our world, it's helpful and empowering to realize that the divine thinker is already thinking of us as healthy, as fully supported, therefore wealthy, as loved, lovable, and loving, and as expressing ourselves here in this body of God with joy, in ways and means of harmony and peace. That is always the divine thinker's thoughts of us, of the entire universe, of everything that is the body of God. The infinite thinker is thinking of a universe that works for all of its created beings and objects. That's us. And so as we are choosing that new thought to think, it's helpful and empowering and powerful to unite our conscious thought with what the divine thinker has already been thinking. I'm going to close now with a spiritual mind treatment. And a spiritual mind treatment is a spiritual tool, a technique. It's a prayer. But what it's doing is recognizing the divine thinker's thoughts and claiming them as being our thoughts, our beliefs, our convictions. That's all I am really saying as I do this spiritual mind treatment, this affirmative prayer. And that's all we have to do, because I know that the law is going to create these ideas that I am claiming as our thoughts, our beliefs. Interesting, huh? So we'll go deeper in future virtual talks, but for now, let me close with that spiritual mind treatment. Listen to, I'll give you the first step. I'll give you the first step, God, what God's thinking, what we are thinking, and a little bit of therefore, the body of God is. So the form that I use is God is, I am, or I'll be saying each one is, that includes me, therefore it is in the world. And then after I'm all done with what I say, I release it to the law of creation, and it's created. It's done. That's what I'm going to do. All right? You can do it too. All right. This word is being spoken for each one. There is an infinite mind, a divine thinker, and that divine thinker is knowing only itself. And it knows itself as intelligent. It knows itself as all good. It is the essence of life, love, light, power, peace, beauty, harmony, joy. And all that is contemplated by the divine is an expression of all these qualities. Everything in this universe is a manifestation of the divine thinker knowing itself and its goodness. Each one is a thought in the infinite mind. This thought contains all of these qualities, the qualities of life, love, light, power, peace, beauty, harmony, joy. Each one is all these qualities. And these qualities, freely expressing as the infinite mind thinks of them, do express in each one's world as health and vitality, as being fully supported and supplied with every good thing required to express this body, to express this thought in the mind of God of each one, in this created world with ease and harmony and with grace, to express that which is in the heart of each one successfully, joyously, and lovingly. And so this infinite thinker's thoughts of all good are now the thoughts and the beliefs and the convictions of each one. And therefore the law takes these thoughts, these beliefs, these convictions, and creates for each one a world that he or she loves completely. A body that is healthy and strong, an experience of interacting in life that is loving and harmonious, that is fully supported and supplied with every good thing, including money, financial know-how, and the right people, places, things, and opportunities arriving at the perfect moment for that unique spirit of each one to express itself delightfully, successfully, and easily in every way. I am grateful that this is the truth. And so I now release this word to the law of the creative process, knowing that it takes it and makes it so in the body of God. It is done, and so it is. And that's the way it is. So have a wonderful week, and I'll be talking to you again soon. Bye.